What are we on? 7? Yeah, dude. Oh, I really want like a chill, or not a chill. I don't want a chill chapter. I want like a grippy chapter. I don't want to take time to be like, haha, happy again. No. We gotta stay in. But I don't remember what's coming next, so we just gotta see. Oh, are we just starting right from the punishment? No, new day at school? Okay, sleepy. Oh, that was a really big yawn, Keiichi-kun. No. Fuck. I'm usually awake once it's time to eat, but it doesn't look like I can do that today.
昨べ遅くまでテレビ見てたら眠くて。
I was watching TV until late last night. I'm so tired right now.
ケイちゃんが喜びそうな番組なんかやってたっけ?
Was one of those raunchy TV shows you love so much on last night? How extremely vile.
ちょっと待て勝手に想像して決めつけるんじゃねえ
Wait, don't imagine things and jump to conclusions.
男の子なら当然です。恥ずかしくないですよ。
It's perfectly normal for boys, nothing to be ashamed about. Rika not patting my head only made me feel worse.
ちょっとこの昼休みは爆睡させてくれ
Could you just let me pass out on this lunch break?
いや本当
No,
マジで
seriously?
私が黙って見過ごすとお思いで
My, you think I would sit here and just sit here and allow that?
邪魔したら怒る
I'll get really angry if you disturb me.
すごい怒る
Really angry. I must be strong. The yawn will not defeat me. Fuck. This was just dreadful. So sleepy. I slumped my head onto the desk and drifted off into an afternoon nap. It seemed that Satoko had responded, but I pretended not to hear.
さとこちゃんやめなよ
Cut it out, Satoko-chan.
ケイチくん寝ちゃった
Keiichi fell asleep.
目がおかい
Oh, he's got the greatest defense on this planet. His sleeping face is so cute.
後でお持ち帰りしていいから
You can take him home later.
そっとしときな
Let him be for now.
向こうへ移動しましょうです
Let's move over there.
ケイチにうるさいと悪いですよ
It'd be rude to Keiichi if we bothered him now. Rika-chan really is a good
先
girl.
生が来ても起こさないであげましょうです
Let's not wake him up even if the teacher comes back. I take that back. The excuse that I didn't sleep much last night was because watching TV was a lie. I was in bed at the usual time, but because of the conversation with Oishi-san that afternoon, I didn't get much sleep. Just spending the day like this, it's almost as if the incident with Tomitake-san didn't happen at all. It made me think, was Oishi-san trying to deceive me? But it was probably the truth. One thing was certain, I couldn't speak to anyone about it. He wanted my assistance, but I really don't know anything about it. If I knew I wasn't going to be of any help, I probably wouldn't have listened in the first place. It ended up with me, again, regretting learning something I didn't need to know. If I had never learned about it, I would, without a doubt, be goofing off with the rest of them right now. I couldn't help but resent Oishi-san for this.
それっていつから
Huh? When was that?
もう次の日にはいなかったって
I heard he wasn't there the next day.
綿流しの晩に失踪したらしいよ
It appears he vanished on the night of the Watanagashi. Neon whispered to keep others from listening, but I could hear it clearly. On the other hand, Rena's voice was even harder to pick up. But I could still tell that she was quite upset. It couldn't be. Are they talking about Tomitake-san?
さんけなの
Only Tomitake?
わかんない
I'm not sure.
私の知る限りではね
That's all I know. I would have to feign ignorance about this topic, but I would have to feign ignorance about this topic because I needed to keep it a secret. Rather than waking up and being forced to lie to join a conversation, it was much easier to sit here and pretend I was asleep and listen in on their discussion. Wait, why I have to pretend to be asleep while eavesdropping on my friend's conversation? The guilt stung.
で で、他にもいるんでしょ
So, there are others, right?
か。
Two?
彼女がたたりにあったのか鬼隠しにあったのかはわかんないけどね。
But they don't know if it was from a curse or if this was an Onikakushi. Onikakushi? What? To be hidden away by a demon? What a mysterious phrase. I did, however, get the feeling that it meant nothing good.
何せよ、もう一人いるんだよね。
Yeah, well, there was another, right?
だよね。
Right?
お社様ならね。
If it's Oyashiro-sama's? Yeah.
でも、
But
今年は、出ないよ。
But this year, at all?
バッチャと村長さんが話してたんだけどさ、
Grandma and the mayor talked about it.
今年は事前に警察と話がつけてあるらしいんだよ。
Seems they talked to the police about it beforehand.
何が起こっても騒ぎにしないで穏便に片付けるって。
They said they'd take care of whatever happens this year without causing a commotion.
じゃあ、レナたちが知らないだけで、どこかで誰かが、かもしれないってこと
So without us knowing it, someone had, I'm gonna assume, murdered them, you mean?
かもね。
Maybe.
次は、レナかな
The next could be me, I wonder.
安心しなよ。
Don't worry,
レナはちゃんと帰ってきたよ。
you got home safely.
でも、ダメだったんでしょ
But it's not allowed, is it?
昔の話だよ。
That was a long time
も
ago.
うやめよ。
Let's stop talking
この話。
about this. Amidst the uncomfortable mood, both of them went silent. The entirety of the conversation was a bit unclear, but a few parts caught my attention. First of all, the term Onikakushi. To be demoned away, by the context it was used in, I would guess it's similar to being spirited away, which is Kamikakushi, to be like hidden away by a god. Which is that the title of like Spirited Away? Hold on, let me do a Google. Oh no, that's got a way different title. One sec. Sen Tochihiro no Kamikakushi. Okay. Is Sen the boy from that movie? Because I don't. It's been a while. I suspected that what it meant was because, I suspected that was what it meant because Tomitake-san and the woman, it really bugged me that I don't know her name, vanished after the Watanagashi. The next thing that stuck out was when Rena said there's another one, right? Mion also said if it's Oyashiro-sama's, then yeah. Responding to something. If it's Oyashiro-sama's curse, then there had to be two victims. Is that what she meant? Come to think of it, I remember Mion saying at the beginning that they didn't know if it was from the curse or if it was Onikakushi. Seems that the curse and being demoned away are two different things, and they were phenomena that were paired together. I recalled Tomitake-san's terrible end. That wasn't something as elegant as disappearing. That horrendous end would be best described as cursed. And the woman with him, that means she vanished because she was demoned away? What I do know is there's normally an even number of victims around the curse proper. And the last point that bothered me was Rena. Rena was frightened. For what reason, I didn't know. However, she knew that something had made her a potential target for Oyashiro-sama's curse. If I recall correctly, Oyashiro-sama should be the guardian deity of Hinamizawa. Isn't a guardian deity supposed to defend the citizens and drive out invaders? If I recall correctly, yesterday Oishi-san said that originally the targets were enemies of the village, but recently there was no longer any distinction between them and outsiders. If that was the case, then I would think that I would be the most likely target, having moved here more recently than Rena. From her composure, I could infer that she was grimly certain she would be next. I should probably relay what I just heard now to Oishi-san. You're a snitch! Informing the police of what I heard by eavesdropping on my friends while pretending to be asleep made me feel terrible. It raised a few questions and left me with a bad taste in my mouth. Would it be better to not seek the answers to those questions? As I continued to learn more and more, I felt like I had fallen past the point of no return. I would definitely regret this one day. I would definitely regret ever having learned of these events. God. You can't just throw fucking kneecap at the end of that. That's... You threw a wrench into my fucking brain. God damn. The teacher approaches. Keiichi-san! You must awaken! In the distance, I could hear the ring of the handbell signaling the start of the afternoon classes. Yeah, I couldn't get any sleep at all. I hastily opened my eyes and raised my head up. I was in that moment when I leaned against the back of my seat. Oh! Was it thumbtacks? Yow! There was a thumbtack stuck on the back of my chair with tape. Circumstantial evidence was enough. Satoko! Guilty without trial. Capital punishment. I furiously jumped from my seat, and I tripped as if my feet were tangled up. My shoelaces had been tied together. Not bad, Satoko. While I was sleeping, you were able to conceal your presence to pull off this fine piece of work. Teacher came in right as I was about to pull off my shoes and tackle Satoko. Oh ho 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 ho. Did you not notice that our teacher has arrived, Keiichi-san? Take your seat. Clomp clomp. Wish whiff. Not caring one bit, I made her eat a flick to the forehead. Wow. Keiichi-san's being mean. Hey. Don't pick on the younger kids, Maibara-kun. Apologize to her. I saw Satoko stick out her tongue at me, that little brat. Come on, Maibara-kun.
Hey,
Yeah, I'll apologize.
さんごめんなさい
Sorry, Satoko-san. In any case, I apologized even if it was in a completely insincere tone of voice. Damn her, I'll remember this. Kei-chan, get your revenge at the club meeting. Take your seat, take your seat. I sat down after Mio told me to. She'd switched to class representative mode. With boring classes finished, school was finally over for the day. Now then, what should we do for our club today? Dude, I'm hungry. I've been thinking about it ever since like we finished the first chapter for today. And like, it was like 5 minutes into this, I was like, oh no, I'm really hungry. Personally, I would like to play that deduction game one more time. I was hardly able to play it last time because of Oishi-san. Rena and I weren't even able to test out our strategy. That's right, today Keiichi-kun and I will be victorious. What should we do? We've never played the same game 2 days in a row before. Why not asking me? Why not try asking me? Mio looked over her shoulder as we made eye contact. She slowly tapped her palm with her fist, and her face suddenly lit up. Oh! I completely forgot. I gotta help my uncle today. Sorry guys, not today. Helping your uncle? Aren't you a goody two shoes? Sorry. I really did forget. Well then, sorry guys. This old man's going home now. Neil left us with that and rushed off to the exit after snatching up her bag. You see, Michan sometimes goes to help out at her uncle's shop in town. I thought she wasn't the type to get caught up in such bothersome stuff.
バイト代が出ると言ってましたですわ。
She said that she gets paid for it.
結構なお小遣いになるらしいですの。
It's quite a bit of spending money from what I hear. I see. She was able to pay for that mountain of games with what she saved up from there.
しかしそれはアルバイトと言うんじゃないのか？
But wouldn't you call that a part-time job?
校則で禁止されてないか？
Isn't that against school policy?
家事手伝いは除くと書いてありますです。
There's a clause that states household chores are to be excluded. Is that what she's calling it? So what now? Pass on the club today?
じゃあ今日はこれで解散かな
So I guess we're done today, I guess?
別に部長不在でもいいだろ
Won't it be fine even without the club
う。
president?
やろうぜ、部活。
Let's do this. Nah, I thought you guys don't play without people. I opened the club locker and began searching for the deduction game from that ever-growing pile of games.
お、あったあった。
Ah, here it is.
昨日の推理ゲーム。
The deduction game from yesterday.
ようやくコツが分かってきたところで中断しちゃったからな。
Man, I had to stop just as I was getting the hang of it. At very least, I wanted to repay Satoko for what she did during the afternoon break.
私は構いませんけど、
I do not mind.
レナさんとリカはどういたします？
But is that fine for you too?
ケイチ君がどうしてもって言うなら、ちょっとだけいいかな。
If Keiichi wants to play so badly, I wouldn't mind playing for a bit.
僕はみんなが揃っての方がいいなと思いますです。
I think it's better if we do it when everyone's together. When she says it like that,
部活がないなら、僕はお買い物に行きたかったのです。
I wanted to go shopping today if there wasn't a club meeting.
お醤油とかを買いに行きますですよ。
Going to buy soy sauce and other things.
そうでしたわね。
Oh, that's right.
すっかり忘れてましたわ。
I completely forgot.
なら、レナも久しぶりに宝探しに行こうかな。
Well, I guess since it's been a while, I should go treasure hunting. What's this? Now everyone was no longer in the mood for club activities? I kept on trying to push the matter. If I kept trying to push the matter, it may make them realize I had a trick up my sleeve. Ah well, I give up this time.
ちぇこのゲーム楽しみにしていたのにな。
Man, I was really looking forward to playing it. I shuffled the cards if I was still caught up on it.
またの機会に叩きのめして差し上げましたよ。
At the next opportunity, I shall give you a sound thrashing. Ho 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 ho.
犯人はサトコ。
The murderer is Satoko.
凶器はピストル。
The murder weapon is a pistol.
やはり貴様の仕業だったか。
So is you after all.
なんですって？
What'd you say?
じゃあ
Then I'll just... One sec, I got a weird DM. I'm gonna open it on my phone because I fear for it to have sound. Okay, well it's fucking Pinterest and it doesn't let me check it without being logged in, so I can't do that. I can't see it without logging in. I check later. Oh, whoa. Satoko looked through the cards on the desk and stuck out 3 of them at me.
犯人はケイチ。
The murderer is Keiichi
凶器はロープで、犯行現場はラウンジですわ。
in the lounge with the rope.
ロープなんかいらねえ。
I don't need no rope.
このまま絞め殺してやら。
I'll just strangle you like this.
いや
No.
ー、ケイチさんの毛玉な
Keiichi-san's such a beast. Phew. Well, this is as good as it's. I guess it's good that I got that out of my system.
ー。
Boy.
ケイチさん、覚えてらっしゃ
I'll remember this, Keiichi-san.
い。いっぱいいっぱいいたぶられましたですね。
She was used as a plaything for quite a
か
while.
わいそうかわいそうです。
You poor thing. What does that mean? What?
かいかい。
What did he just like fake strangle her? Just like it looks like Homer and Bart, but you know, not actually doing it. Cute. Keiichi, watch your brain. You're about to fucking get your brain sent to space through a punch. Everyone got ready to go back home. I also helped gather up the scattered cards. I suddenly paused. Oh, I know what he found. They were just the suspect cards, but I noticed something strange. Rena, Satoko, Rika, Keiichi, Mion, Satoshi. Satoshi? Not all the cards were made by us. Or at least every card besides this one has the name of a club member. Does this mean that that Satoshi fellow is a member? Was there somebody in the class named Satoshi? I couldn't find anyone named Satoshi on the class roster stuck up on the wall. Keiichi-kun, hurry! Let's hurry up and finish cleaning up. Being rushed by Rena, I finished up quickly. Satoko and Rika-chan had already headed off merrily for their lockers, so we were the only ones left in the classroom. Right now, Rena had already gotten her bag and was ready to leave.
Rena. やっぱりこのクラスからも転校で出て行っちゃった生徒って結構いるんだろ?
There must be quite a few people who transfer from the school, right? I tried asking Rena in a bit of a roundabout way. Rena made a troubled face and then answered. Yeah. Hinamizawa is a rural town, yeah? Some people transfer out every now and again.
じゃあこのサトシってやつも転校してったのか?
Then is this Satoshi another one of the transferees? Sorry. I really don't know. There was a bit of a pause, but the answer was pretty much immediate. I'm not saying it to be mean. Just last year. I transferred in, so maybe I just missed them. So I didn't hear much about them. Sorry. Is that even true? Was the timing that lined up? I'm not sure, sorry. Her answer was a lot like when she refused to tell me about the murder at the dam. I was saddened by her denial and felt a bit of anger. I'm their friend, aren't I? Friends don't keep secrets from their friends, do they? Though I do appreciate that they kept that unsettling curse thing from me. But if everyone's worried about it, I'd rather be worried with them. That's what it means to be friends, right? For a moment I wondered what kind of face I was making just then, with these mixed feelings and sadness and annoyance. Keiichi, you're making a scary face. Why? It was probably exactly the kind of face Rena said it was. It appeared my grim expression had frightened her.
ごめん。
Sorry.
今日の部活楽しみにしてたからさ。残念だっただけだよ。
I was really looking forward to club today. I'm just feeling down about it. I rustled Rena's hair.
帰ろうぜ。
Let's go home. Dragging that awkward mood with us, we headed home. Is today Usoda? If not today, it's soon. I wonder why. Why have I been getting this dumb feeling lately? I didn't know anything, I had nothing to worry about, I was just enjoying my everyday life. My long outstretched shadow gave no answer to my naive inquiry. Keiichi-kun, are you tired, maybe? Rena timidly questioned the reason behind my mood. I'm sure my expression made the situation even more unsettling.
そうか?
You think so? Yeah. You seem to have been out of it ever since this morning. One sec. Yeah, you seem to be been a little out of it ever since this morning. Maybe a cold. Physically, I was pretty sure I was in perfect health. It may not seem like it, but I've had perfect attendance since elementary school. Rena continued on since I didn't give her an answer. Could be the fatigue from moving has finally caught up with you. It's completely different from where you used to live, after all. Of course you've gotten tired. There's so much you need to get used to and remember.
そうなのかな?
Maybe that's it. Yeah. Has to be. I was also like that at first too. I can tell, you know? I wondered if Rena had also experienced the slight bit of alienation last year that I was feeling right now. Thinking so, I felt that she was the only one who could understand how I felt.
レナがひなみ沢に転校してきた時の話が聞きたいな。
I'd like to hear about when you first came to Hinamizawa.
どんなだった？
How was it? Feeling I had been drawn into the conversation, her face suddenly brightened. Hee
ケイチ君と同じだよ。
It was the same as you.
人の名前も村の中も全然わかんなかった。
I didn't know the villagers' names at all.
みーちゃんとかが親切にしてくれたから全然寂しくなかったけど、
Michan and the
やっぱ
others,
り心細かったよ。
Michan and the rest were very kind, so I wasn't lonely, but I did still feel a little out of place. Rena told me all the details when she moved here. All of her first acquaintances and surprises, worries and good times.
レナもサトコにやられたのかよ。
So Satoko got you too?
うん。
Yeah.
椅子に座ろうとしたら画鋲が置いてあったの。
There was a thumbtack put on my chair.
どっさり。
Poke.
そしたらそれを
Then with that, yeah,
懐かしいな。
it really takes me back.
ミオンの部活にはいつ頃誘われたんだ？
When were you invited to the club?
早速初日にか？
The first day?
うんうん。
Nah.
最初は部活なんてなかったんだ
There
よ。
wasn't a club at the beginning.
途中からできたの。
It was formed partway through? Girl, your story don't match up. Your story don't match up. Your story don't match up. You said Satoshi was before you joined, and... Okay, wait. No, wait, maybe it does make sense. Maybe they played that board game with Satoshi before the club was a thing. Okay. I was about to say, hold up.
放課後にみんなで残ってゲーム大会をやろうって言い出して。
One day she said we should stay after school and hold a big game tournament.
そういえば、ミオン初代部長とか言ってたっけな。
Come to think of it, Mion did say she was the first club president.
納得。
Now I get it.
内緒だけどね。みーちゃん最初は弱かったんだよ。
This is a secret, but Michan used to be really bad at the
全
beginning.
然勝てなかった。
She'd never win.
え？
Eh?
ミオンが？
Mion, really?
ちょっと想像つかないぞ。
I can't even imagine that.
自分で言い出した罰ゲーム、ほとんど自分でやってたんだよ。
She had to do most of the penalties she came up with.
本
Hee
当に内緒だからね。
Seriously, don't tell. I can't believe Mion was like that. So she gradually transformed into a monster who used any means necessary to win during that time. Mion is at her best when she's fighting dirty.
みーちゃん以外ともちょっとずつお友達になれて。でも、
I began making more friends besides Michan after that, but yeah,
ケイチくんが引っ越してきてからかな。
it might have been only since you moved here
ようやくここに馴染めたって自覚したのは。
that I finally felt like I had gotten used to it here. I guess I just been left in the dark about Oyashiro-sama since she had just moved here. Guess when she finally told me about Oyashiro-sama, I'd be considered one of them.
俺はいつになったら
Oh,
仲間だと認めてもらえるんだろうな。
oh no. I wonder when I'll be finally considered one of them. Huh?
なんて言ったの？
Did you say something?
あ、いや、ごめん。
No, sorry.
独り言。
Talking to myself.
ケイチくん変なの。
Ah, Keiichi-kun, you're silly. Rena was poking fun and laughing at me. I couldn't help but laugh as well. But I suddenly stopped. Then after making up my mind, I spoke.
なあ、レナ。
Hey, Rena.
みんなは俺に嘘や隠し事なんかしてないよな。
Is there something that everyone's keeping from me? Huh?
してないよ。全然。
No, not at all.
嘘だろ。
You're lying, aren't you? Rena suddenly stopped. Her expression was cold and intense.
どういう意味だろう。
What do you mean by that?
ケイチくん。
Her tone was still the exact same cheery, lighthearted one as before.
してるよな。
You are, aren't you?
俺に隠し事を。
Keeping something from me? After understanding what I meant, her expression grew even more intense. Seeing that face, I regretted saying something so rash, but she came back at me in a way I didn't expect.
じゃあさ、ケイチくん。
Well then, Keiichi-kun,
ケイチくんこそ、レナたちに嘘や隠し事をしてないかな。
aren't you keeping something from us?
Eh?
Huh? Her tone didn't change, but it was the first time I'd seen this expression from Rena. With how her gaze pierced through me, I couldn't believe this was the same Rena. Also, we must. I feel like this is the scariest one, even though this one's pretty gnarly. This one, you'd have to see the swap from the other eyes to this one to really get it. This one, I don't like it. With how her gaze pierced through me, I couldn't believe this was the same Rena. Hey.
してないかな
Aren't you?
嘘や隠し事
Lies or secrets?
してないかな
Aren't you hiding some? You are. Secrets. She didn't actually say that part, but she looked as if she did. The incident with Tomitake-san and how I felt alienated from the group. Even without having to think about it, these were things I knew that I felt guilty about. But I didn't tell anyone, or I didn't tell everyone about what happened with Tomitake-san to be considerate. I was keeping it a secret just the same way they didn't tell me about Oyashiro-sama. Then aren't we even?
知ってないよ。
No, I'm not.
嘘も
No lies.
隠し事も
No secrets.
嘘だよ
Liar. Her answer was instant and it shook me. Rena stared as if it burrowing through me, watching me like a hawk.
どうして嘘だって
Why would you say that I'm lying?
圭一くん昨日の部活の時先生に呼ばれて職員室に行ってたって言ったよね
Didn't you say that you were called into the teacher's room yesterday during club meeting?
レナは知ってるよ
I know.
圭一くんは職員室になんか行かなかった
You didn't go to the teacher's room. I swallowed hard. It clearly wasn't a bluff. She knew what happened.
先生はお客さんが来たって言ったんだよね
The teacher said you had a guest, didn't she?
でも昇降口ではお話ししてなかった
But you didn't talk at the entrance.
校門のところの車の中で話をしてたよね
You talked inside of a car near the school gate. She's got you on that, bud.
知らないおじさんと
Some man we don't know. Rena knew everything. She knew that I was called out by Oishi-san and that I heard about the incident with Tomitake-san as well. Did she know all of it?
誰あのおじさん
Exactly who was that man?
知らない人だよ
I don't know him.
知らない人がなんで圭一くんに用があるの
Why did someone you don't know have business with you?
俺が知りたいよ
I want to know that myself.
じゃあ何の話をしていたの
Then what'd you talk about?
みんなとは関係のない話だよ
Has nothing to do with you guys. That was a lie.
嘘だ
Lies! Rena's scream echoed throughout the trees, sending frightened birds into the air. I couldn't exhale the deep breath I had just taken. No, it was like I wasn't allowed to exhale. It was here I first realized the person in front of me, she wasn't Ryugu Rena. Then who was standing before me now? Who had assumed Ryugu Rena's appearance? I'd held my breath for so long I could feel myself suffocating.
ね
Right? Then she made a facial expression that Rena normally might have made. It didn't matter that it was Rena's usual smile, it chilled me to the bone. She drew closer to me. I felt her breath against my face. It wasn't the least bit exciting. Whoever this was with Rena's face was going to chew my nose right off. I cowered as I imagined that. Then she smirked as if she was able to see right through me.
圭一くんに内緒や隠し事があるようにレナたちにだってあるんだよ
We also have secrets, just like how Keiichi-kun has secrets. It was Rena's usual smile, but her eyes were still like that of a hawk's. Bringing her face close enough to mine close enough to mine to almost bump into my nose, she kindly persuaded me. I couldn't nod or shake my head. This person standing in front of me, the person that looked like Rena, frightened me to my core. I was terrified knowing that she could hear the sound of me swallowing nervously. After what felt like an eternity, after a long empty silence, she finally spoke.
行こ
Ugh. Let's go.
うだいぶ涼しくなってきたよ
It's getting chilly. It was Rena again. Smiling at me once more, she started walking as if nothing had happened at all. Ooh. When I was released from her gaze, my legs gave out from under me and I slumped to the ground. I wasn't able to lift a finger until Rena was out of sight.
あれは誰だったんだよ。
Who was that? I felt cold. My body was drenched in sweat. I was finally able to form a coherent thought and ask myself once again, who was that person? Who looked like Rena Ryugu? Yeah! We're getting into the shit! This is the part I like. I was out of it and couldn't bring myself to do anything until dinner, except stare blankly into space. Was I terrified from Rena going off on me? No, that's not right. That was someone else who only looked like Rena. Then, who could it have been? It was a dreadful feeling, knowing that someone else, not Rena. Knowing that was someone else, not Rena. So tomorrow I shouldn't have a problem talking to Rena like I usually do. That thought was strangely comforting. I concluded that I should just calm down and clear my head. Though those thoughts continued swirling around my mind. Finally, I returned to my senses as I heard my mother calling out to me from the bottom of the stairs. Keiichi! It's a call from the bookstore. Bookstore? Can't think of why they'd be calling me. Went downstairs and picked up the receiver anyway. My apologies for calling so late at night. It's me, Oishi of the Okinomiya bookshop.
大石さん
Oishi-san?
大石さんじゃないですか。
Oh, it's Oishi.
ごめんなさいね。
Sorry.
ご両親が出られたので、本屋さんということにしておきました。
Since your parents picked up, I said I was from the
警
bookstore.
察ですって名乗ると、いろいろ気分を害されるでしょうしね。
It puts people off when I say that I'm a police officer. Oishi-san was, in his own way, rather courteous. Even so, I didn't want my parents hearing me talk to the police. I brought the cordless phone with me as I dashed up back to my room on the second floor.
夜分遅くにすみませんですね。
Sorry for calling so late.
実は昨日渡した電話番号のメモ、あれ古い番号だったんです。
That phone number on the piece of paper I gave you yesterday was the old number.
本当に申し訳ない。
My
これ
apologies.
から申し上げる番号を控えておいてもらえますか。
Can you copy down the number I'm about to give you?
あ、はい。
Yeah.
どうぞ。
Okay. He gave me the number for his direct line as I wrote it down. I thought that was the end of it, but he began making pointless small talk, and it was pretty hard to hang up.
さて、どうでしょう、前原さん。
So how has it been, Maibara-san?
何か変わったことはありましたか。
Did anything strange happen recently? I see. This was the real reason. He really beat around the bush there. His adult conversational skills left me
大
slack-jawed.
石さんはここの地元の方ですか？
Are you from around here, Oishi-san?
ええ、そうです。
Yeah, I am.
生まれも育ちも沖宮ですよ。
Born and raised in Okinomiya. If he's from around here, he might know.
大石さん、
Oishi-san.
鬼隠しって何のことか知ってますか？
Do you know what this Onikakushi thing's about?
それはですね、人が鬼にさらわれ、忽然といなくなってしまうことなんです。
I believe that's when someone suddenly vanishes because they've been abducted by a demon.
このあたり独特の言い回しですね。
It's a special saying from around here.
世間様で言う神隠しと同じ意味です。
It has the same meaning as spirited away, like everyone else says. Whereas my friends would say they didn't know when I asked, this older man gave me a direct answer. It made me a bit happy that he answered me directly without trying to hide anything.
平見沢は、前原さんにこんなこと言っていいんでしょうか。
Hinamizawa was, not sure if I should tell you this, Maibara-san.
もったいぶらないでくださいよ。
Don't try to play this off.
大石さんが言わないなら俺も何も言いませんよ。
If you're not gonna talk, then I'm not gonna tell you anything.
ああ、いやいや、
No.
そういう意味じゃないんですよ。ただその気を悪くされないかと思いましてね。
That's not what I meant. It may make you feel bad.
実はですね、平見沢はその昔、鬼の住む里って呼ばれて恐れられていたんですよ。
You see, long ago, Hinamizawa was feared as the village where demons reside.
鬼？
Demons?
鬼って地獄にいる金棒を持ったあの？
By demons, you mean those pitchfork carrying things in hell?
というよりは人食い鬼ですな。
More like human eating monsters.
里に降りてきて人をさらって食い散らかしてしまう。なんて怖い昔話があるんですよ。
They go down to villages snatching up people and gobbling them down. That kind of tale. Demons snatching up people is what this Onikakushi really means.
たたりと鬼隠しは一緒に起こるって言ってましたけど、
They said that the curse and being demoned away happened together.
どういうことですか？
What does that mean? I already knew about the mysterious deaths happening 5 years in a row, but I didn't know that people were disappearing for those same 5
た
years.
たりと鬼隠しが必ず一緒に？
The curse and being demoned away happened together?
それは初めて聞きました。
First time I've heard that.
そうなんですか、前原さん。
Is that how it is, my Bara-san?
それは俺が聞きたいですよ。
That's what I want to know.
レナとミオンが話してたんです。
He's a
親父様のた
snitch!
たりなら必ずたたりと鬼隠しが起こるって。
I heard Rena and Mion talking that if it was really Oyashiro-sama's curse, then both the curse and demoning away would happen. Oishi-san began hemming and hawing on the other end of the receiver. Maybe something about that came to mind?
前原さん、
Maibara-san,
最初の事件ご存知ですよね。
do you know the first incident?
バラバラ殺人。
The murder by dismemberment?
ええ、
Yeah.
6人の犯人のうち1人はまだ逃走中なんですよね。
One of the 6 perpetrators is still on the run, right?
例えばそれ。
Wait, hold on. Was that Oishi line not through the phone filter?
前原さん、
It was.
最初の事件ご存知ですよね。バラバラ殺人。
I guess it was supposed to hit a little harder. Hypothetically.
逃走中じゃなく鬼隠しにあったんじゃないでしょうかね。
You're right. What if he isn't on the run, but was demoned away? Also, I'm kind of impressed at how much this hits right on a second run. Cause like I know a lot more than I should, you know, having finished it. But also they're leading you around by the nose the whole time, so you're like, oh, okay, if this then that, then this and that. So like I've got A and B figured out because they're telling me, oh, here's the A crumbs and here's a little bit of B, and then they drop C on my ass, and I'm like, I didn't even think about C, and I've beaten this shit. Oh my god. It's super cool. Huh? It was an outrageous hypothesis from Oishi-san. The incident 4 years ago was the particularly ghastly one. The police already knew the perpetrators, so they posted tons of wanted posters with his face on them. They staked out various locations and investigated every possible escape route he had. But after 4 years, there wasn't even a hint of where he might be, unless the police were completely incompetent. Even if it was an outrageous hypothesis, I couldn't simply laugh it off.
じゃあその翌年の事故はどうです？
What about the incident next year?
誘致派の男と妻が一緒に事故死したんですよね。
When the man who supported the project and his wife both died in an accident.
実はですね、
Well, actually,
正式には事故死したのは夫だけなんです。
it was only the husband who died in an accident.
妻は死体が上がりませんでしたから。
His wife's body never surfaced.
現行法では死体が発見されない限り行方不明扱いなんですよ。
Unless we find the body, then it's considered considered a missing person by law. At the time of the incident, with the river below the cliff being muddy rapids, the police divers had searched every branch off the main stream of the river for dozens of miles, but in the end, they weren't able to find her body.
でも死体が見つからないだけで亡くなったんですよね。
But that's just them not being able to find the body. She's still dead, right?
鬼隠しとは違うんじゃないですか？
Isn't it different from her being demoned away? Buddy, if there's no body, that's the same thing as demoned away.
死体が出ない以上亡くなったとは言えません。
We cannot say someone is dead without their body.
法律で定めた年月が過ぎるまで生存扱いなんです。
Until a certain number of years pass by law, she's treated as alive. I'm not sure if it was the right call that being demoned away, or I'm not sure it was right to call that being demoned away. The wife is missing. At least that part was reality.
3年目はどうなんですか？
How about the third year?
神主は病死、
The Shinto priest died of an illness,
妻は自殺ですよ。
and his wife committed suicide?
前原さん、
Well,
実はね、これも全く同じなんですよ。
that's actually the same scenario. The wife had supposedly thrown herself to the bottomless swamp deep in the forest around Hinamizawa. Meaning it's all circumstantial evidence. They simply found her suicide note in front of the swamp. A diver was able to recover a few of her articles, but they weren't able to find a body. The investigative headquarters believe that she had faked her death and is still alive somewhere.
これらを鬼隠しと呼んでいいかちょっとわかりませんがね。
I'm not sure if we could refer to these cases as being demoned away.
前原さんの言う通り、確かに毎年一人行方不明になっています。
It's just as you said, every year one person does go missing.
今年の事件では富武さんの連れの女の人が行方不明。
The incident this year, the woman with Tomitake-san has gone missing.
じゃあ去年の主婦の撲殺事件はどうです？
Then what about the incident with the housewife that was beaten to death?
誰か行方不明になりましたか？
Who went missing?
確か犯人は逮捕されたんですよね。
I believe the perpetrator was caught, right?
逮捕されてます。
Yeah, we arrested him.
以前に逮捕歴もあるやつでしてね。
He was just a miscreant with a record of narcotics abuse.
別件で取り調べ中に犯行を自供してます。
He admitted to the crime while being questioned about a different incident.
ですがですね。
But, well, you
犯
see,
人逮捕からしばらくして、被害者宅の子供が行方不明になったんです。
after he was arrested, a child from the victim's home went missing.
犯罪に巻き込まれたのかどうなのか。
It's still under investigation
現在も捜査してます。
as to whether the disappearance had anything to do with the crime.
だって犯人は捕まったんですよね。
But you said you caught him, right?
それともその仲間が？
Did he have an accomplice?
さあ、多分単独犯だと思います。
No idea. It was most likely the only perpetrator.
もっとも
Only one
今で
perpetrator.
は確かめようもないんですよ。
Moreover, we can't even check now.
実はその男、取り調べ中に拘置所内でお亡くなりになっちゃいまして。
Because while under investigation, that man, he died in his holding cell. He swallowed a spork and choked to death. Fucking yikes. It's not known whether this was an accident or a suicide.
つまり過去5年間必ず死者と行方不明者が一人ずつ出ているわけなんですよね。
Meaning, for the last 5 years, there's always one person who dies and one who goes missing?
そうなります。
It's about right.
いえね、私も驚いていますよ。
No, actually, I'm surprised as well.
こんな共通項には気づきませんでした。
I never realized that they had that in common. I couldn't believe that this would help I couldn't believe that this could help lead to closing off those incidents. It was just something they had in common.
例えば鬼隠しにあって失踪した人には何か共通点があるとか。
Could it be those that were demoned away have something in common? Oishi mumbled as he seemed to be thinking about it. So I summarized the events.
1年目はダムの作業員。
First year was the dam employee.
2年目は誘致派の男の妻。
Second year was the wife of a dam project supporter.
3年目は神主の妻。
Third year was the wife of the Shinto priest.
4年目は被害者宅の子供で、5年目は交際相手かな。
Fourth year was the victim's family's child. The fifth year was the victim's girlfriend, I guess.
特につながりはなさそうだし。
It doesn't seem like there's anything that connects them.
1年目はともかく、妻とか交際相手とか、そういう人が目立ちますな。
With the exception of the first year, the wives and girlfriends, those do stand out. It does seem like there are a lot. And that means the fourth year's victim's child was different. It would have really stood out if these were all married couples, except it's not just married couples, but parents and children as well. Come to think of it, I believe Tomitake-san said to me the younger brother is alive and has moved, if I remember correctly. Did he? Oh, yeah, talking about the victim's younger brother.
4年目に行方不明になった子供ってどんなだったんですか？
With I think it's the fourth year? The wait. No. The third year, I think? Second? The ones that fell, that brother, the brother of that, I think. Right? I don't remember. The child that went missing on the fourth year, who were they?
おとなしい感じの方だったらしいです。
Apparently he was quite mature.
年はあなたの一つ上です。
1 year older than you.
名前は北条聡さん。
His name was Hojo Satoshi-san.
サトシ？
Huh? Satoshi? I remembered that name. Didn't they tell me that Satoshi transferred out last year?
あなたの学校に去年まで通っていました。
He was at your school up till last year.
話を聞いていませんか？
Didn't they tell you anything about him? Come to think of it, when I transferred in, I believe they said my seat belonged to a recent transfer student. Then where I sat once belonged... my seat where I sat once belonged to someone who was demoned away. It was his seat? I recalled the cold sensation that came from that desk, and it made my hair stand on end. The string of mysterious deaths. No Oyashiro-sama's curse. I now knew how it connected to me. That chilling sensation, it was the feeling of Oyashiro-sama caressing the back of my neck.
お社様のたたりか。
Oyashiro-sama's curse, huh? Could Oyashiro-sama's curse really exist? In all honesty, I was beginning to believe it, and I was scared. That was why I wanted to say it was a plot crafted by a man and not the work of a curse. But the more I dug into it, the less likely that it seemed. No, the more I dug, the more mysterious it became. If I kept digging, eventually, I'd reach a point where I'd learn something I really shouldn't know. To either be none the wiser or to seek an answer I may regret. Which one would I be happier with? Maybe it'll be me next time. My execution could only be delayed for 1 year. That was when I remembered. Rena. Rena said she may be the next victim of the curse. You mean Rena Ryugu? She transferred in last year and she's your classmate, isn't she? These incidents really might be too disturbing for a girl. She's not just scared, is she? It wasn't that. She said it might be her next. She said it in a way that made me think she had concrete reason behind it.
もっと確信じみたものだったように思います。
It felt like she was convinced.
なんていうのか、その。
Almost as if you could say she was frightened. Her sudden change in demeanor. That someone looked like Rena but wasn't Rena. That might be unrelated. All the strange things that I felt from Rena today came back to me. Oh, I see. Then I'll be doing a bit of investigating on this end. Please continue your observations of Ryugu-san, Maibara-san.
それは、レナを見張れってことですか?
Are you asking me to keep Rena under surveillance? That's not what I mean, Maibara-san. I just want you to watch out for your friend so she doesn't end up the next victim. At that moment, just as my mouth was agape because I was so impressed with his mature, clever way with words. Knock, knock. A sudden knock at the door sent my heart racing. In an instant, I had pointlessly covered up the end of the receiver. Keiichi, get the door, please. The other side of the door, I heard my father's oddly upbeat voice. What could it be? It's so late.
すみません、親父が来ました。
Sorry, my dad just came in.
今夜はこれくらいでいいですか?
Can we leave it at this for tonight? Yeah. My apologies again for calling so late. If you find out anything else, please let me know. I'll tell you if I make any progress on this end. Well then, have a pleasant evening. Keiichi, hurry up and open up. Hurry and open up. Daddy's got his hands full. What's Dad doing? I had stayed in the same position while on the phone the whole time, so my joints were aching. When I opened the door, I saw my father was standing there with a tray. On the tray, cookies and 2 cups of black tea, a fairly fancy spread for our household. There was even sugar and lemon slices on the side, everything you could ask for. This was quite the show of hospitality.
何? 父さん.
What's going on, Dad?
それ、何のつもりだよ?
What's all this for?
もう、はぐらかすなよ、Keiichi.
Come on now, don't play around, Keiichi.
入るぞ.
I'm coming in. Dad was in high spirits and had a smirk on his face. But for my entire life, I'd never seen him act this hospitable. What had gotten into him?
で、何の話をしてたんだ?
So what were you talking about? I jumped. It's not something I had to keep from my father. But how could I explain to him I was talking to a detective, I'm assuming he was, this late at night?
別に何も.
Nothing much.
友達だよ.
Just a friend.
電話の話じゃなくて。
I don't mean the phone.
来てたんだろう、今。
She was here, wasn't she?
レナちゃんが。
Rena-chan. The way they don't let you breathe. Huh?
来てないよ。
She wasn't here.
もう、ごまかさなくたっていいぞ。
Come now, don't try to keep it from me.
さっきレナちゃんが遊びに来てたじゃないか。
She just came over to play.
だいぶ話し込んでるみたいだったから、お茶でもって思ったら、すれ違いだったんだよ。
You two were chatting away, so I thought I'd bring some tea, but it looks like I just missed her. I had no idea what Dad was talking about, but a cold sweat dripped down my back.
どのくらい話し込んでたかな。
How long were we talking?
レナちゃんが2階に上がったのが半くらいだったから、小1時間くらいかな。
Rena-chan went upstairs about half after, so it was close to an hour, I guess?
2階に上がったの、父さん見たの？
You saw her come up to the second floor?
ああ、見たよ。
Yeah, I did.
圭一の部屋は階段を上がって奥の扉だよって声もかけた。
I also told her that your room was the door down the hall up the stairs. Rena came to my house about an hour ago. Dad met her at the door and then called out to me on the second floor. I probably didn't hear him because I was so focused on my conversation with Oishi-san. I didn't reply, but he knew I was in my room, so he had her come inside. Then he then told her my room was on the second floor. She thanked my dad and went upstairs. Then about an hour passed. She passed my dad just as he was bringing up the tea and left. She came upstairs and about an hour passed. Then passed my dad and returned home. Then after she came upstairs until she left, where was Rena? There's only a short hallway between my room and the stairs, meaning Rena had, for about an hour, in the hall. No, she couldn't have been standing in front of my door the whole time. The door to my room wasn't particularly thick. You could easily hear everything being said on the inside. All of the unsettling and unguarded things I spoke to Oishi-san about began rushing through my head.
お父さん、あまりからかっちゃダメよ。
Honey, don't tease him.
それよりアトリエを片付けて。
More importantly, you need to clean up your studio.
またこぼすわよ。
It's a mess again. Mom yelled up at Dad from downstairs. Dad left the tray with me and went downstairs with the disappointed chortle. I followed my dad out of the room with my eyes. I looked at the floor around the doorway where Rena might have stood all that time. Just now, as I was talking with Oishi-san with my back turned, Rena was standing a mere 6 feet away the whole time. All that time in this dimly lit doorway. What did she see? What did she hear? For what reason? As the steam from the 2 teacups ominously wafted and twisted, the aroma of the black tea filled my room. Oh, yeah. We're in the good shit now, boys. Oh. Time for some fucking tips, I think. Yeah, notice from the police chief. View new tips. July 1st, 1982. To Departments 1 through 12. Blank Prefectural Police Headquarters. Director General Blank. To the Chief Constable and all facility managers. Regarding cases situated in Hinamizawa Village, notice. As cases in Shishibone City, Hinamizawa Village have been reported by certain sections of mass media, it has drawn global attention, which is causing serious repercussions for the local residents. This has become a very serious situation. To protect the livelihood and prosperity of the residents, the following notice has been issued. 1. Designate the following criminal investigations as classified. Okinomiya Station, 1982, case number X. Yamizawa Village housewife murdered, dated June X. Okinomiya Station, 1982, case number X. Hinamizawa Village student disappeared, dated June X. Non-disclosure of information. Okinomiya Station, 1979, case number X. Hinamizawa Village site foreman murdered, date June X. Shira Station, 1980, case number X. Shirakawa Natural Park falling incident, dated June X. Okinomiya Station, 1981, case number X. Hinamizawa Village Shinto priest wife's disappearance. requesting self-restraint from each organization concerning the release of sensitive information. Please see attached reference materials 1, 2, and 3. Management from the blank Prefecture Police Headquarters. Internal line blank. Police Affairs Department blank blank. Hell yeah. That's our fucking wrap. Let's go. End of chapter 8. Alright, we're out of here for today, gang. Goodbye. Goodbye.